What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I do want to talk about something here on Motorfest that honestly I've been thinking about for a minute now, but I also got to admit something. It kind of triggered a bit more after doing the Ferrari Summit. So we all do know that was going to be yesterday. It is going to be the current summit in the game, which is probably not that surprising. But after I did end up doing it, it really got me thinking about multiple things about Motorfest. I also was noticing people talking about things about TCM in the comments and then also in the Discord. And my brain really went, wow, so yeah, the next season this game really has to be good. We are currently going to be in Season 7, obviously. But I really do think Season 8 has to be amazing, guys. Now, you probably did end up seeing the title, The Crew Borefest, and you know what? I gotta admit something. For a lot of players, it's kind of going in that direction. The reason why I say that is Season 7 right now is probably going to be one of the most boring seasons I have played so far in this entire game. Like, I'm going to be 100% real. I'm not going to sugarcoat things and chill and go, okay, well, everything about this game is great, because honestly, when you say things like that or you kind of agree with everything that is done, that is probably going to be a reason why some of these games are in the current state that they're in, and also why things in them may never get better or they take forever to get better. So a lot of you might be wondering exactly why I am calling it Borefest, and there is going to be a few different reasons. Well, for one, we can all agree that summits, guys, look, I've talked about this in so many old videos and stuff. I don't want to keep repeating myself and all that. I see other people, other content creators talking about the summits as well. But look, if they are going to do the summits, they have to do something different with the summits, man. And the reason why I say that is looking at the Ferrari summit, we keep seeing the exact same 15 to 20, maybe I guess you could say 25 races. Basically, every summit that's constantly getting repeated all the time in them. And I kind of find this a bit unfortunate because we all do know there's probably, what, 200 races in the game or something like that. They could easily mix around the summits. And when I see something like the Ferrari Summit, for example, seeing 9 events, I did get pretty excited for it. But going through it, I'm like, oh, this race again. Oh, I'm also doing this event again. Oh, look, this one. It's just like, okay, so we've been doing the exact same races so dang often. They really do got to mix it up more. There's so many other races in the game they could easily use and mix up the summits more. I feel like that could be something they could do. Last week was honestly pretty dope, seeing all the skills in there, even though it was probably an easy platinum for a lot of people. And we all do know right now the rewards in the summits are going to be absolute garbage basically until the end of the month. So a lot of players might not even bother logging onto the game until they see the vehicle, which I was seeing some controversy around the Ferrari that's also going to be in this, which is the SF90. A lot of people are like, why couldn't we get like the XX or something a bit more unique? A lot of players have basically almost made this exact same livery in the actual shop. So I would say a lot of players might look at this car and go, I mean, it's cool, but I can kind of make a very similar vehicle. Like, I think they could do a tad better on the Summit vehicles, or, you know, make players want to go after them even more. Now, the funny part is, I would say people are going to be like, man, Block, why are you complaining about the summits? Well, here's the thing. The summits are going to be the main end game in TCM, okay? Once you do every single playlist, all you pretty much have is the summit and the grand race. If you're not in a PvP, well, you're probably not going to do grand races. I haven't done them in about a year now because I find them very boring. It is the same thing basically for a year now. It is going to pretty much be the only PvP thing, legit coming up to 2 years into TCM. And do not worry, I am going to talk about how that really needs to happen in Season 8. What's funny, though, is I do kind of want to revisit this video when Season 8 does end up coming out and seeing what they do end up doing. Like, for example, we really do need some changes in this game to really get it on the right track. But at this point, guys, I really don't know, especially after Season 7. I do know in Season 6 we had the Red Bull update. They were going to add some cool things into there, like the playground. Some of the summits were decently fun back then. I feel like they were some of the better ones we had because they were kind of mixed up, even though I completely do not like the point, like, events. I don't really like those that much. I don't find them that fun how they're designed, and a lot of them you could just exploit them anyway, so not really a big fan of those, even though they could have added way more off-road events on Maui and stuff, which honestly was kind of a big miss there, I would say. But Season 7, though, basically did end up bringing the entire Ferrari thing into the game, and I feel like it is going to be cool. Like, the museum thing was cool for probably like 15 or 20 minutes. You most likely did the entire playlist in, what was that, like maybe 50 minutes or so, and that is pretty much it. After that's done, a lot of players are instantly looking for what is next. What's hilarious though is probably a week or two into the update, I was seeing people praising them and going, yeah, this is one of the best updates. This is peak content, bro. And then literally 2 weeks later, I saw all the comments going back to requesting vehicles, asking for PvP, asking to be able to lower their cars and stuff like that, or change their wheels and have proper coloring. It is kind of funny how instantly changed around 2 weeks in, because the update was basically going to be fun, quote unquote, for about a week or so. This is also why I really think Season 8 has to do something big here, and to be honest, I don't really have the biggest confidence that it's going to be, only because of the track record at the moment. What I do mean by this, a lot of people are predicting right now that we're going to be getting another island. And what's funny about this though is I do understand players are going to want the map to be expanded and stuff like that, and that's going to be cool, don't get me wrong. The only issue I have with it is if you're going to add an entire island to the game, make sure it's going to be packed with content and things to do in there. What I do mean by that is if we are looking at something like Maui, for example, when that did end up coming out, if you did not end up getting the year 2 pass, well, there wasn't going to be basically much of anything on the island. And in fact, even right now, there is still not a lot of stuff going on that island. I mean, there's a lot of empty roads, a lot of empty off-road areas, and there's kind of like a lot of L areas in the entire map where they could easily add races into it, and it just doesn't seem to be happening. So my thing with this is, if they are going to be adding another map to the game, is it going to have races on it? Is it going to have anything to do, like, are they going to put 2 or 3 races on it or something, part of a new playlist? And then that's pretty much going to be it for around 2.5 months again until they add more races to it. And I just feel like that entire design and plan just really isn't going to work, and honestly hasn't worked that well since the launch of the game. We all do know they probably have to add things slower. We all are going to be well aware of the entire live service model at this point. But I do feel like adding an entire map to the game that's going to be almost empty, man, it really just doesn't make any sense if they do end up doing that. I will be completely shocked in Season 8 if we get another map in the game that's going to be empty or something, and then boom, they're going to throw something on top of it, like a Volume 2 version of Chase Squad. Can you guys imagine that for a second? I would laugh so hard if we get a second version of it, and honestly, I would not doubt it, because that brings me into the next concern I have in Season 8, which is going to be another paid year pass. Now, a lot of people might be like, oh, Block, what do you mean? Well, here's the thing. I do understand them having to make money and stuff and wanting to put paid stuff into the game, because some games do this well. One of which is going to be SnowRunner, which is going to have a $25 season pass to the game, but you are going to get 4 DLCs in there that are going to have a lot of content, each one, new vehicles, and that's again $25, okay? If we're going to look at a season pass in something like Forza Horizon 5, for example, that is also $30, alright? And you get 42 cars in that one. If we look at something like the year 2 pass on Motorfest, you pretty much get 13 vehicles that everybody can buy, so those are all basically useless. And then the other 7 or so vehicles are going to be Chase Squad exclusives, which are going to be part of the entire Chase Squad, which was the main part of the season pass. And you guys will probably see where I am going with this. I understand if they're trying to have packs in the game and that way they can fund it and stuff like that, but bro, if you're going to have yearly pass in the game, they have to be worth what you're paying for them. $30 for what you get on the year 2 pass is honestly such a dang ripoff, and I'm going to call it right now in this video, guys. This is going to go up on July 31st, which is obviously Thursday. And I'm going to call this right now. If we do end up getting a year 3 pass, and that is $30, and they're going to have barely anything in it, you guys can bet right now I'm going to do a rant video on that, because I understand you have to make money, but bro, don't go and rip people off and barely have anything in there, because let's be real, the yearly pass in this game should not be more than $10, okay? Like, for real. $10 USD should be the max price of any of them. Even honestly less than that. I feel like you could probably get away with less of what you're actually getting, because if you are going to be paying money on a special pass like that, everything in there should really be exclusive to it in a way, because you're paying all that money for it. And I'm going to be amazed if we actually do end up getting another year pass and it is going to be Chase Squad, or like a second volume Chase Squad or something that's off-road, because I could see something like that happening on the island if they have an off-road Chase Squad on there. It would really make a lot of sense if they did end up doing that. And the funny part is, I feel like it's not going to go over all that well. And one of the funny things about this is I was noticing people talking about this in the Discord saying, yo, the pass is not going to be worth it. $30 is insane. And I'm honestly going to flip out if they make another year 3 pass that's also $30. And I'm probably going to guess and say right now they are most likely going to do it. And let's just hope for a tiny little second that it's going to be worth it. I have a feeling they could end up putting some cards in there that players might end up wanting to entice people to probably buy it. I could definitely see something like that happening. But the thing is, though, if it's going to be $30, man, it's gotta be worth it. Like, yeah, people are like, but they're giving us a free island blocked. Well, yes, but it's also empty and there's nothing on it unless you buy the DLC to do these set events that are mostly on the island. Y'all see what I'm saying? That kind of doesn't make a lot of sense, bro, because you're basically getting a free island that is completely empty. Let's just hope right now that they're not going to give us a full-on $30 year 3 pass and there's barely anything in it. I really feel like that's going to be such a huge L. There's also going to be some other parts to this, though, that do end up concerning me and also kind of make the crew Borefest even more realistic. And I'm not the only one that has talked about this, about how the entire game is basically aimed at new players and not the veteran players. We all do know for a fact right now, most of the rewards you are getting in the summits and also around the game are going to be reused things. Like, yeah, there's some new stuff in there here and there, but there's not a ton of things going on in the game that's really dragging you back into it that makes you want to play the game. I mean, heck, am I going to go through an entire new playlist for a title that I'm probably never going to use, or do all 80 custom mode races for a title? They could easily put some other cool stuff in there that's going to entice you to do it instead of going through 80 events for a title or a couple other items, guys. It really doesn't make any sense because, yes, you can get the entire prestige ticket thing to go into the shop and all that and get items. But the thing is, if you had played the Crew 2, you probably have most of everything. So what is the point of doing the custom mode and getting prestige tickets if you can't turn the prestige tickets in anything that is going to be more useful? We also do know right now that, yeah, the summit did end up getting changed to 15,000 people, which I do know is going to have a few sides to it. People like it, they don't. Personally, I don't see this being a bad thing if they do make the summits very worthwhile, and they also make them legitimately fair. It's funny how it is going to be a fair modifier on the summit, but for some odd reason you can slipstream and get super fast times with playing with one or two other people instead of playing by yourself. If you were going to have crew members in the entire summit, here's an idea. Make it so you can't slipstream each other, but you race each other and you're all going to be ghosts or something. I don't know. Make it like that. That way everyone has to get their times and stuff, and you can't just slipstream each other and completely decimate some of the events, because no matter what you do as a solo player, you cannot even compete with that, which honestly is going to be insanely unfair. And also, one of the funny things I found about this is, once again, we all do know the summits is pretty much the main end game of the entire design of Motorfest. So if they start messing with this and pushing players away, that's going to get rid of one thing. What if that player doesn't like doing grand races, okay? What if they don't want to do them? That means they're probably not going to have much of anything to do in the game. Now, we all do know they could easily be doing different modifiers or different, like, boosted playlists every single week, but it turns out they only do them once in a while, and they, for some odd reason, have a 50% boost on the playlist, but Grand Races are 100% boost because they want you to play Grand Races. Why are the regular playlists in the game not having 100% boost, man? I don't get it. They could easily have that on the playlist, making players want to do it, but yet Grand Race get 100% boost. Don't y'all want players to go play other game modes? I mean, heck, look at Demolition Royale, bro. Ain't nobody playing that, and we don't have any events for Demolition Derby or Monster, really, so you kind of don't have a choice if you want to mix up those classes a bit. And also with the custom show, I understand what they were trying to do with it, man, but at this point, it's just taking more rewards away from everything else in the game because there's not enough new stuff to go around at the moment, and then they're going to be putting stuff in the custom show, which in ways is still going to be rigged a bit. Then we're not going to have enough rewards for playlists or summits, and obviously there's not going to be a lot of new stuff in the game, so a lot of it starts getting reused, which is something everybody has been witnessing recently in this. And look, guys, I'm going to be real. The reason why I am ranting about this stuff is because I do care about this game. I want it to do great. I think Motorfest has a ton of potential. But at the moment, I feel like in a lot of ways, it's really being wasted. And I feel like a lot of people are going to agree, though, because there are so many things they can do with this game to make it good. But at the moment, I'm kind of a bit concerned. Like, you're telling me right now that we could end up getting the Chase Squad Year 3 update, which is going to probably be $30. Like, that is a possibility, bro. Think about that for a minute. Like, you really think that's something the game honestly needs right now? You know what a big focus of the game should be? Is probably PvP events, which hopefully in Season 8, aka Year 3 of the game, we do end up getting PvP events. It is kind of wild if they don't add PvP to the game, man. Like, if there's nothing related to PvP, whether it's going to be like a playlist thing, we have like, what, 20-something playlists in the game. Make some of those into like a PvP playlist. I mean, heck, Need for Speed Unbound did it. So do something like that that would entice players to go race certain cars like a Street Tier 1, Tier 2, Hyper Racing, whatever they feel like using in those said playlists. That would really mix it up. Imagine having like a track-focused event on one of the racetracks or something, maybe have 8 to 10, maybe 12 racers on there, even having something like tire wear. There is so many different things they can do with the PvP, and I hope it does end up getting it. I mean, heck, guys, the fact that we might end up finally getting PvP modes in year 3, 2 years into the game's life cycle is just ridiculous. Hopefully it does end up getting that because the game drastically needs it. If it keeps following the current route it's on right now, I really don't see this game lasting another 2 or 3 years. I just don't. I don't even think it can go another year at the moment on the current rate that it is going. I mean, heck, bro, we're going to have Grand Theft Auto 6 and also Forza Horizon 6 is coming out next year. Both of those games are going to be huge behemoths, especially GTA 6. And after Forza Horizon 5 has been massively successful on PlayStation 5, doing 3 million copies in 3 months, man, you know for a fact that Forza Horizon 6 is easily going to stomp that number. That right there should tell Ubisoft that people are looking for something different. They do want to have a change or something. And this game is still going down the really odd path that it's currently on, where I honestly really do believe the entire dev team on this game is tiny right now. There is no way 300 developers are doing the updates this game is getting. I would probably guess maybe 20 to 30, something like that is my overall guess. And the reason why I say that is Need for Speed Unbound was getting fire updates with 30 people working on it. So I really don't think there's going to be 300 people. I would say the team on this game is most likely very tiny, and they probably have a majority of that team working on the next game, which I'm probably going to throw a crazy prediction out right now, guys. I'd love to come back to this video and see, but the end of year 3 of this game, aka 2026, next year in the fall, which is probably going to be around the time Forza Horizon 6 does come out, I could see them doing some type of teaser or something for the next crew game. I really do think that's going to be possible because the current route of Motorfest, I do not see this game lasting right now on the update timeline that it's currently on. There is no way this game is going 2 or 3 more years. Like, there's just no way. Everybody seems to be in agreement that Season 7 is easily one of the most boring seasons we have so far. And with that, I feel like Season 6 was decent. They did miss some things there, and we all do know players are going to get bored of stuff. Now, I do understand they're going to be drip feeding us cars and all that every month, which is probably something they have to do, and also drip feeding us a playlist with around pretty much halfway through this season. Then they're going to drip feed the events in that one, which I could see them doing that. It could work if there is enough content and things to do in the game, or a good mix-up of things dragging players in, which at the moment I feel like it really isn't the case there. We all do know right now the summits have been draining players. I've been noticing, like, yeah, it is going to say 100,000 players ranked, but if you click on the events, though, some of them are around 25 to 35,000 people that are ranked, because a lot of people are just not bothering with the summits anymore. And with that, a lot of players probably can't even do grand races because people like wrecking into you or really being an annoying driver because you only have no collision basically on Saturdays only, which is a bit odd. So yeah, guys, I feel like a lot of us can agree here that a lot of the decisions and fundamental designs of Motorfest really do need to be looked at. This far into the game's life, though, I feel like a lot of the changes people are asking for are most likely not going to make it. Some of which are probably going to be wheel colors, maybe lowering your vehicle and stuff. I don't know if I see that happening. I would love to see Summit cars be a bit more unique instead of throwing a livery on them and then putting them into the Summit. I feel like they got to be able to do better than that, man. Also seeing new rewards in the game, that's going to make you really actually want to get on and do them. But again, they're pretty much using the same design for over 2 years now, or going up to 2 years. So I really don't know if I see things changing in that aspect. But we all do know right now that Season 8 has to be an absolute banger, and I'm really wondering what they're going to show with Season 8. Like, are we going to have a Chase Squad Volume 2 that's going to be off-road, or we all do know we're probably going to get a second year pass, or I guess you could say a third one because we're going into year 3. So a year 3 pass, probably $30 again, which is honestly absolutely ridiculous. And with that, we might even get another Ultimate Edition for $120, which, by the way, what a ripoff. Do not buy that. Funny part is, there was a sale you could actually get the entire Ultimate Edition for $35, man. That should tell you something, because this game currently everywhere, when I was looking in stores like Walmart, is going to be around $15 for a brand new base version of Motorfest. Isn't that pretty insane, man? What's also a bit funny to me is, if you look at it like that, though, that is probably going to be the price of many DLCs, which technically this game was a DLC, and it's kind of being around that price now, which is a bit interesting. And I do know for a fact Ubisoft and them have to be looking at Forza Horizon. Again, guys, 3 million copies on PlayStation's absolutely insane. Without a doubt in my mind, that had to make way more money than Motorfest did easily, bro. You're talking $150 million probably is what Forza made. I do know for a fact Motorfest probably did not make anywhere near that. But I am curious to know what y'all think about this stuff in the comments below. I feel like a lot of this is frustrating to me, though, and a lot of players, because we all do know Motorfest can be great, man. Add some things players want, like being able to lower your car, like being able to, change your wheels and actually have painted wheels would be very nice. And also, give us proper PvP modes, whether it's a playlist or something, and boom, you would already be on a better track with many people. On top of that, mix up the summits and kind of redesign them and have different events instead of using like the same 15 events in every single summit and rotating them. Also getting better rewards in there that's going to bring players into it. And again, at this point, you might as well just get rid of the custom show, because I don't think people even care about that anymore. That would allow other rewards to go into other places. And I just feel like there's so many other things they really can do with this game to make it better and also really make it unique or different in its own aspect. Because as of right now, yeah, this game is going to have planes and motorcycles and boats and all that, right? Funny part is, none of those classes basically get any type of love. Motorcycles are terrible. They do not feel good. And also, they're all going to be old models, basically from the Crew 1, a lot of them. Yeah, there's going to be some newer bikes that were in the Crew 2. But Motorfest is basically not getting any new bikes. The planes are probably going to be a bit useless. Yes, we do have a jet. A jet that basically has no races for it, which makes a lot of sense. And the reason for that, though, is you can easily look at previous summits and go, oh, look at this custom jet event. That's pretty cool, like the Long Maui Expedition one. You're telling me they couldn't do races like that for the jet, bro? Like, I don't understand why that's not a thing. There's obviously going to be absolutely no Demolition Derby events. There's one monster truck event. And on top of all of that, most of Maui is still going to be completely empty heading into year 3 of the game. There is going to be plenty of room to have a long rally raid event, a long rally cross. I can have a long boat race over there. And yet there is still going to be nothing, but a lot of people want another new island in the game. I really don't understand it, man. It just really does confuse me. But do let me know what y'all think Season 8 needs to do here in Motorfest to really get this game on a better track or really get it closer to its potential. At the moment, guys, it really does frustrate me so much seeing the road Motorfest is going down. I mean, heck, we're pretty much going to have 3 months of Season 7, and at the moment, there is basically nothing going on in this game. It's honestly a bit ridiculous at this point, but I can't wait to see what people do say in the comments below, because at the end of the day, all of us want this game to do good, so I really am curious to see what they do in Season 8. Let's honestly hope they do take the right step and they most likely don't add a crazy overpriced year pass again. Also on top of that, an Ultimate Edition. And then we're probably not going to have much of anything new besides that in the update. I really hope they do not take that approach with Season 8.